Oh,
I do like a fucking dweeb.
JB too, don't get it twisted. But y'all look spiffy in y'all little work gear, man. I see that shit.
It's whatever.
Yeah,
Man,
man.
about the penny loafers.
Made
It's
me
all
want to
about
go
it.
corporate, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it's all about the aesthetic, man.
What's going on, y'all? Welcome to another episode of the InnerChild Podcast, where we have authentic conversations about childhood passions and growth. Like always, I'm OD. It's my boy JB, and today we got another guest on the show. But this really like family. It's our brothers for real. Yeah, real good partner of both of ours, man. You know this Mr. Izzy. You know what I'm saying, Mr. Israel Chipman. Let's clap it up.
My brothers.
Gone way.
My brothers.
What's going on, man? How you doing today? All right?
Man, I'm doing well, man. You know, in New York, hanging out
Yeah.
with both of y'all, bro. This is a city that I first experienced probably like in 2023 for 4th of July. And like ever since I came that time, bro, it's always been like a great experience.
Yeah, we all hung out at that time. No?
We all went
the
out,
Mets
bro.
game and shit.
Yeah,
Okay,
bro.
okay,
Like
yeah.
literally, bro, just like great vibes, bro. City's very cultured. Every place seems like a whole different city. So like I like that a lot. And you know, here for work. So I was like, I got an opportunity to chop it up with you. JB, love what y'all been doing with this platform, man. So I'm excited, bro.
Appreciate
that, man.
Facts.
You know, the platform is just an opportunity for us to just obviously have authentic conversations. So it's always fitting when, you know, you get a partner on the show and you get to obviously talk about like some real shit. You know what I'm saying?
No doubt.
Shit, you should move out here, bro.
I ain't gonna, bro, low key, bro. I was just talking to the boys. I'm like, bro, I would live out here, bro. It's motivational, bro. I mean, I ran the Brooklyn Bridge this morning and like,
Yeah.
just to see how many people were up at 6:30, like getting to it, bro, on the
Right.
grind. Like, I'm in Tampa right now, so
Yeah,
you don't
yeah.
see, you know, much of that for real. It's a lot slower pace. So seeing that, it's like, that's huge.
We'll talk about that later. But what part of Tampa you in? Because, you know, I was staying there for like a year.
Oh, I'm in Brandon right now.
Oh,
so
yeah, that's why I lived in Brandon.
For real?
Yeah, I lived in Brandon.
That's ironic, bro.
I actually liked Tampa. I just didn't have anybody to hang out with around that time. It was not until like Dex pulled up.
Yeah.
And that was like later half for me in Tampa. Like that was like in August, September.
Yeah.
So like from January to like September, it was just working the crib. Like, you know what I'm saying? So I didn't really have a great time in Tampa. But now like we all older niggas in Tampa now, I can pull up and have a good time. You feel me?
Facts.
But yeah, man, let's get this shit started, bro. Damn, I don't really want to do this, but I gotta do this. 'Cause it's opening segment. You know what I'm saying? We call this segment Drip Check. You know what I'm saying?
Facts.
So, you know, you got on the corporate jet today. You know, when I came here earlier, I said you look like a mortgage officer. You know? But yeah, man, let us know, man. Let us know about the fit, brother.
I mean, what y'all do? Y'all stand up or like you just kind of just
Yeah, you just
describe
talk
what
about
you got
the
on?
vibe was head to toe, man.
Man, honestly, bro, I got on some Cole Haan loafers, bro.
Penny loafers.
Penny loafers.
Yeah.
I go, you know, navy blue slacks. I don't know why, but I feel like on Wednesdays I always wear blue. So I don't know. It just fit today to wear it. And then, you know, I got a Columbia sweater. Shout out to Queen.
We got that paddock on there.
You know, Paddock Philippe. No, I just nice little watch, man. Something simple, calm, bro. In training right now, but still on the look the part.
Yeah, you fit right in with the Wall Street guys, man.
Finance
Like,
bros,
yeah, like
quote unquote.
Finance bro. This finance bro drip, bro.
Try to get like JV, man. What you got on? You over there clean.
You know, feel me? Just got all those shoes, monk straps, feel me? This is like a suit separate, you know, little Project Destin vest, you feel me? So just light stuff. But man, Izzy, talk to us, man. Let's take it back to the beginning. Your roots, Tallahassee, Florida, man.
Man.
Talk about your upbringing in the 850. You spent 22 years in Tallahassee. So
Crazy.
from when you're born, grade school, all the way through college. So just talk about like the culture, values that were instilled like from being, from Tallahassee.
Yeah, man. I mean, growing up in Tally was unique, bro. Like it's a small city, and honestly, you don't really see a lot of people make it to, you know, really big positions there. But But what I loved about Tallahassee is like the positions that people did make it to, they took pride in it, bro.
Yeah.
And that's from being a janitor all the way up to being, a CEO of a company. And that's something for myself personally that I held like hard to, as far as like a skill set that I would want to be able to bring and a mentality that I would want to have with a job, because I know if you're just willing to give it your all for the smallest things in life, then you'll do it for the biggest things. So yeah, I grew up in Tallahassee, man, single, like double family household, but only child. So doing that was kind of big, but I always wanted like a little brother or something like that growing up. And my mom and my dad, like that wasn't something that I was able to get, of course, organically, but ended up, joining the frat with y'all boys, and y'all became, one of my, feel like blood brothers, to be honest, with all the stuff that we had opportunity to do, but grew up there. My roots are in Miami, so my mom and dad, they're from Miami, Florida. Dad, as a lot of people might know, is the band director for FAMU Marching 100. Mom is a grade school teacher in Tallahassee for 5th grade. She did 4th grade. She's got like 30 years in the game. So for me, kind of going into finance too, that was a different thing in my family. My family produces a lot of educators and stuff like that. But I noticed just kind of growing up at the dinner table, finances and money management and generational wealth wasn't a conversation that we used to have a lot of. And so, to be honest, and kind of like just going back a little bit, basketball was always like my passion, my joy, and what I truly thought growing up was going to be like the exit route for me. And, I got hit with a reality check in high school that kind of forced me to start taking school a little bit serious, bro. Like, you feel me? You think you gonna make it out, you play,
Yeah, you think you good.
you think you solid, bro. You play AAU, you doing little local tournaments and stuff like that. You killing, getting 20 and stuff like that. And then, them boys, when we got in like 7th grade, took us to a real tournament in Orlando with like everybody. And we got humbled, bro. Like real deal dudes out there getting to it, dropping 30, crazy skill sets at a very young age. And for me, I was like, sheesh, I got to go back to the drawing board.
Yeah.
And I wasn't like super tall, I'm average height, so stuff like that kind of got into the mix. And so after, kind of grade school, I went to middle school. I got hurt playing basketball in middle school. And when I went to high school, that kind of changed the trajectory of like where I really thought, basketball was going to take me, to be honest, man. So I had a long talk with my mom and dad, because of course music was something that a lot of people thought was going to be the passion that I ended up pursuing. But, had an uncomfortable conversation with my dad where it got to the point where it was just like, I was in band in middle school, but I told him straight up, I was like, Pops, I don't think this my route, my journey. And honestly, for the sake of your face and what you would want to see your son being out there producing for somebody that's going to be in band, I think you would want a little bit of more effort of me out of something like this. So I think I'm going to decide to focus on something that's, bigger than me. And at the time, it was basketball. And I did that for so long. And, once I graduated from high school, I was always the guy growing up that was like, I'll never go to FAMU. Never gonna do FAMU. That's just not the place that I really want to be at. I feel like I already went there because I grew up in Tallahassee. And that's like I said, I was taking school seriously from the standpoint, like in my house, so you gotta get A's and B's to do whatever you want to do. So it's like, yeah, get a smooth little 3.3 GPA. Could I have studied more? Probably. Could I have, put in extra effort on the ACT and SAT? Probably.
Yeah.
But I did what I had to do because I thought basketball was gonna be it. That didn't end up working out. Ended up saying, I'm gonna take that in-state tuition and went to FAM. And honestly, bro, like that was probably one of the biggest transitions in my life, bro, because it was something that I didn't expect to get going there. I tell free people all the time when I went to FAMU, that didn't feel like Tallahassee. like people say Tallahassee not a real place. Like,
for real?
Bro, it never felt like I was in Tallahassee. Like
that's odd, because Tallahassee is very small. Like you could be in a college town, and then go across the tracks. You pass FSU, but then once you pass FSU and Old Bainbridge, like it still kind of sort of feels like the college town to me. I don't know, maybe it's because I'm not from Tally.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying. But it's not really until you like get to that past Capital Circle.
You got there's places where you like know where you could escape. You know what I'm saying? Like I used to live basically over by Southwood. You feel me? So like which is like South Blairstone, if you're familiar.
Yeah,
So it's like you feel there's places where you just feel like you're not in a normal college town. So I get what he's saying of coming from.
Was you in those areas though? Like the Blair Woods? Oh, you was there.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
no,
I
that makes
really
sense.
lived in like the east side of Tallahassee, like close to Lincoln High School. So honestly, bro, like my day to day was getting up, going to my high school to like work out, play basketball. Like I had friends and stuff like that from AAU, and like on Fridays, like we'll go to the mall, which it's not much. Governor Square is not much in Tallahassee, but like we'll go there and hang out. But outside of that, bro, like you was just like hooping and like just being a kid. So from a college landscape, like I wasn't even aware of pot bellies. I wasn't aware like of the moon until like I got more in like middle school and stuff like that and like high school, but still like I wasn't going there. So to transition from something like that, just playing basketball and training and then get to school, and it's like that goes all the way. Like basketball's over. It's like, all right, you're gonna focus on school and stuff like that. And you got to find friends. It's kind of like I had to rebrand myself and like realize like who was Israel Chipman, like who was Izzy, because like what everybody else knew me from back home, like, and you see this episode and be like, yeah, like he was the guy that played basketball, good dude, stayed out the way, never really caused no harm or trouble, but he just played basketball and was a cool dude, and occasionally might put it on a little bit. You feel me? But nah, like kind of transitioning to that and going to FAMU, it was different. And I started in journalism like you, bro. Like a lot of people don't even know that. I started in journalism because, stereotypical, you don't play basketball. So it's like, I'm gonna talk about it on TV. I'm gonna be Stephen A. Smith. Like
that shit happened.
Bro, like you literally don't play and don't make it. It's like, well, bro, I was this good, so I could talk about it on TV. And it's like, bro, I got in those classes like first semester and they talking about writing 5, 10, 15-page papers. I'm like, bro, I don't like writing. Like, what are y'all talking about? I'm trying to talk about it. It was like, bro, before you talk about it, you got to be about it. And a lot of those people wrote really, really well. And once you start going back and doing the research, it's like, dang, they did like write a lot. They were, putting in a lot of extra hours. And so after I looked at that and reevaluated myself, I always knew I was good at math, and like that came natural to me. In business, like I said, wasn't talked about at the dinner table. So I was like, let me take a shot on SBI. I changed my major like second semester. When the SBI, put my nose down, bro, and I just ramped up, bro. I started applying for different engagement groups on campus because even my freshman year, like I wasn't very much involved like that. So I applied and became like a presidential ambassador. I joined CFO. I started applying to like exploratory programs with different companies just to understand like what this corporate space is really like. And it was crazy to see how many kids was already there and already hip as to like what they were gonna do, knew their exit and stuff like that. And we can get into that topic a little bit later. So after I did that, 2019 ended up being able to get an opportunity to work at, JP Morgan in their first Advancing Black Pathways apprenticeship program. And that opened my eyes, bro. I was in there with people from Columbia, Cornell, Harvard, University of Chicago, like just like different schools. And coming from FAMU, when you get into different presenter rooms and they don't even know how to pronounce your school, and you're trying to sit up there and ask a question and get validated credibility from those people, it humbled you. And it like made you like work harder so people could value and see you as a value add to like the firm. So going through that made me just work harder. That turned out into an internship opportunity. And now, I've been at the firm for like 3 to 5 years, working in various different spaces. And I'm sitting in Tampa now, and it's been great. Pledge Capital with y'all boys in 2020, got a chance to be, the pole mark. Like my dad, like a lot of this stuff, bro, honestly, I just wanted to make my mom and dad proud. That was the satisfaction and gratitude I kind of needed to keep going, and why I keep going every single day. So yeah.
You've been saying a lot of shit that's really relatable. Like I could talk about the whole basketball route because it was the same thing with me. Like, I thought I was really good till I started getting injured. I remember I was like in my junior year of high school where I really thought like, oh my God, this is finally gonna happen. My big break is gonna come through. And then, I was going to a school and my address was fake. I got kicked out of school. Like, you know what I'm saying? And then now I'm trying to make a comeback at my old school. I started getting injured. Like, you know what I'm saying? So it's just like
setbacks.
Yeah, so like a whole bunch of setbacks. So like I had constantly made a lot of pivots in my life. One thing I really like appreciate you talk about with this whole FAMU conversation, right? Because you never, like, despite your dad being a band director, FAMU being like the culture your family existed in, right? I never thought I was gonna go to FAMU.
Yeah.
Like I never had any desire to go to FAMU. Like it was not something that was in my radar. Like I was not thinking about FAMU. I used to always think about UF because my uncle went to UF.
Facts.
I used to think about FSU because I used to like watching FSU and UF play.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So my first 2 years in college, like I went to Miami-Dade, and after Miami-Dade, I went to TCC.
Right.
But I wasn't even paying attention to the entire FAMU route until I actually like got a glimpse of that experience, and I just was like, "Oh my God, bro! Like, what the fuck is this?"
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, it literally changed my life. Like, you know, I've always been somebody that's been really prided on building myself and doing the right things, right, and making the right choices. And I would have never thought in a million years that like I would have probably skipped up on FAMU.
Yeah.
If
yeah.
I did, you feel me? Because if I looked the other way, like it would have been FSU.
Right. Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? But with that whole FAMU conversation, like obviously, like your dad is the band director of the Marching 100.
Right.
Like if you know HBCU culture, everybody knows the Marching 100. If you know, I mean, he's a pretty prominent figure. He represents a pretty prominent program.
Yeah.
Amongst Black HBCU collegiate culture. You know what I'm saying? What's the conversations like at home, man? Being that like mom was an educator, dad, he's a man of status within the community.
Yeah.
And within the HBCU community, you know what I'm saying? He's a man of status within the HBCU community. Like, what's that conversation like, man? And what's little Izzy feeling?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? As you going through, your matriculation as a young man, but like, man, you got some heavy shoes to fill.
Yeah.
Obviously you decided a long time ago was not going to be the band route. You know what I'm saying? But you still like, you had heavy shoes to fill. Like, what was that feeling like?
Bro, it's crazy, bro. He'll laugh if he heard me say this, bro, but my dad's a bum, bro. Like, he always gonna be a bum, bro. Like, that's the family joke. Like, whenever we talk about him, we like, oh, him? Like, he's a bum, bro. Like, we not worried about him. Fam, you better. Like, we always, like, mess with him and, like, downplay it, bro. But, like, we're all, like, so proud of, like, everything that he's done, man. And honestly, like you said, it's only been 4 FAMU band directors. 3 of them, been Noops. And so just to kind of see him work so hard, bro, he's been through a lot, bro. Like, I mean, of course, like, everybody, like, knows, like, the story of just the FAMU band, and just to see, like, how he's, like, rebuilded that brand back to, like, where it is at a time where nobody thought that they'll be able to survive and come back, bro. Like, that's motivational to me. And so, like, as a little kid, bro, seeing that, like, I didn't take too much heed to it in the moment. I'm just thinking, like, oh, like, it's cool. Like, I get to run on the field and, pick up plumes and, like, sit by the band and, like, just hear them play great music. I love music to this day. I listen to different genres of it. And so seeing him kind of sit in that position, I never really asked him until I started getting older, like, more direct questions like, Pops, when did you know, like, you wanted to be the band director? A lot of people don't know this. My dad started off as a computer science major. He got his bachelor's in computer science from FAMU. And after that, he realized, like, that wasn't his passion. That's not what he wanted to do. That wasn't his inner child. Yeah. And so he said, I'm going to go get my master's in University of Illinois in music education, and ended up getting his doctorate from Florida State. Similar to the same route that the band director before him kind of took. Yeah. And it's ironic how he ended up being an assistant and then becoming the head. So even just seeing that gave me validation that me even taking the route of leaving journalism and stuff like that was okay, because, like, he didn't even have it all figured out, like, growing up. So as a little kid, like, I wasn't asking him much questions. And to be honest, like, me and my dad's relationship has evolved so much since I was a little kid. Like, I never met his dad. Like, his dad passed away when he was 7. He drowned. I'm named after him, actually. So, like, even from, like, a grandparent's perspective, like, I only have, like, 1 grandparent still living. And it seems like our family is, like, so big, but I tell people all the time, like, we're just close. We're not as big as, like, a lot of people would think, but we're very, very close, and we stay, very tight-knit together. So having the opportunity to just kind of see him grow and, like, even, like, grow me into the man that I am, with not having a father figure and seeing your dad, kind of pass away at 7, having to look up to your older brothers, bro, like, I think he's done a damn good job, with his son. And so I took heed to that, because that was something that took me a long time to realize, like, how big of shoes he had to fill, like, bringing me into the world. Yeah. And so now for me, it's like paying that back in tenfold. And so, asking him, like, what's the trajectory that he kind of sees for the band, and, like, strategy of like what he would do differently or things he wants to see differently done with the brand. Like we have those type of conversations now, more like as men rather than like me being a little kid and like him sitting in the position. And he actually like takes my advice sometimes on like stuff that I might recommend to him or think would be a good route to go. So just seeing that growing up, man, it was huge. And then my mom, bro, like my mom is the rock of our family. Like I said, all my family's in Miami. We were the only ones that moved to Tallahassee because of him and that job. So when we were in Tallahassee at first, it was me, my mom, and him. And he had to do countless hours, a lot of nights to get the position that he's in now. And so my mom had to, pick up the weight. And I, thank her for that every single day and love her to death because, she was intentional about that. And then slowly but surely, like I had my aunt come and a couple of cousins, but for the most part, we were, 7 hours away from Miami, being in Tallahassee. So, I mean, it was huge, bro, to see it now and like, him getting the band of the year and stuff like that. Just always wanted to carry those same characteristics that he has, being a humble guy, always willing to, take whatever needs to be done to make stuff happen. And then just like, being reliable, bro. Like, I feel like that's a key characteristic, skill set and trait that you can carry that a lot of people will take heed to.
Yeah. So one of the biggest things that you and I have talked about many times is, how we connect on a certain level of just, both of our fathers having, certain roles, right? And so I guess my question would be, did you ever feel a sense of pressure because the level of greatness that your dad's instilled, not just in you, but your entire family, right? He's reached a level of success and continues to still elevate on that. Did you ever feel like, although you didn't want to go the music route, whatever it is that you were going to decide to do in a career path or career field, did you feel like I just have to be great because my dad set the standard high, and I saw him be very diligent in getting to where he's at? How did you take that? Maybe it wasn't directly coming from him saying like, you got to do good, son, but you just knew internally like, I gotta be him.
Yeah, honestly, bro, it's a great question. I actually never opened up about this, but yeah, I did. I never would like say it, but I always, feel a sense of pressure as I go from my dad and the things that he's done. And it's not pressure. It's like, I'm scared. It's like a pressure of like, I'm gonna rise to the occasion because it's a healthy competition of like, I see everything that you've done, but like, I'm trying to surpass that. Yeah. Like, I'm trying to do whatever I can to, be in a better position than you gave me the opportunity to have a childhood within and become an adult within and provide to my kids and my seed when I get older. And it's all healthy, but it's all like motivational. So the pressure there was definitely like, I feel like honestly, bro, a lot of times like other people put a lot more pressure on me than myself. In a lot of various situations, like going to church, they're like, oh, your dad's a band director. Like, you should be doing the Easter speech and like, you should be doing the longest monologue that we have and memorizing it. It's like, I mean, yeah, I'll do it, but like, why I gotta do it? Why me out of all the other kids, just because he's a band director, like, I gotta do the longest speech? Or like, if we're in school or something like that on a group project and like being that I'm at FAMU, it's like, they know, like they see the last name. It's like, okay, like, it got to be him, like type thing. It's like, oh, so you could be the group lead for this project and stuff like that. A lot of that stuff I probably needed, to be honest, because it made me step out of my comfort zone. But a lot of times, sometimes it just get annoying, bro. Like even with the chapter, bro, like, being pole mark, it's like, oh, well, you pole mark like your dad. It's like, yeah, like, but I'm not him though. You feel me? Like that's Pops. Like, and you feel me? I never got pressure from him. Like ever, bro. Mm-hmm. Like if anybody was, the most gentle with me throughout all of this, it was him. Like he was my sounding board. Like whenever everything else was just going on, because he already knew like everybody else was doing that to me. And so I think that's why I never felt a sense of pressure personally, like inside myself, because I'm like, I mean, everybody else but him, kind of putting the pressure on me. Like he kind of already knows what's like coming with the territory. And so having the opportunity and like I said, a father that could do that for you, it was smooth, man. But whenever I was slacking, he was the first to let me know that you need to get your stuff together. You feel me? So that was always good too, bro. But like, he was a truth teller, but he was also, a sounding board. He's pretty quiet though. Like if you like, he jokes once you get to know him, but like if you meet him, like you'll think he kind of quiet. Yeah. So
that's real. Yeah, that's real. So, I mean, obviously we talking about the relationship with your father, right? I want to get into obviously like the relationship with yourself too, right?
Yeah.
Like growing into manhood.
Facts.
You feel me? Obviously me, like I'm 28. I've been out of school 5 years now. And a constant conversation I've always had with myself. Like, and probably since 18, or not even just 18, like just understanding like what my college years needed to look like, what my post grad years need to look like. It was just this big conversation of just constantly evolving as a young man, right?
Right.
And understanding the things that I need to accomplish, and the habits I need to develop to become like an undeniable leader in whatever space I exist in.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It seemed like a pretty good conversation to have with you. You know what I'm saying? Because obviously you hear a lot about a lot of your growth. You've been talking about that. What are some ways you have personally in these last few years post grad? What are some ways you've been trying to like make sure that you have built like a solid foundation within yourself? You know what I'm saying? Like, and then not only that, when did you recognize like the need to check yourself on certain things that you needed to be better about so that you could become, Mr. Israel Chipman? Like, what's that mindset
boys
like?
to men type job.
Yeah, boys to men.
Yeah, no, that's real, bro. Honestly, I feel like I had my coming to Jesus moment, as I like to call it, in like probably 2023, bro. Like I was just reaching a rough patch of just kind of running through the same routine every single day with work. At the time for work, like I was in a rotational program, so it was coming towards the end, and I was trying to figure out like what the out was gonna be. And the role that I had at the time, to be honest, wasn't something I was absolutely like happy with. So I wanted something that was gonna give me a little bit more pressure on my back and drive me more to just reach higher heights. So I feel like at that time in 2023, like I had to like check myself from little things like my relationship with God, like how much I'm going to church. Like, of course, like once COVID hit, it changed the trajectory of like a lot of the operations that was just happening in the world. And something for me that I used to always do with my family, even sometimes as I got older, I would go to church on my own and like sit up there. My mom and dad could like still be home asleep. That's when I was able to like drive and stuff in high school. And, after COVID, like I stopped kind of going to church like in person. I would join like virtually and stuff like that. But my personal relationship with God was like, I got more out of it when I was actually in the church house because I was focused, didn't have my phone distracting me, and like I really got a sense of like the Holy Spirit from hearing different things that the like church choir was sing, resonating with the messages that the pastor was giving to you. So at that time, I was moving in Columbus, Ohio, and I just started searching. So I just went to different churches, tried to find something that I resonated with a little bit, or for the most part, and ended up finding this Baptist church with this pastor. And honestly, bro, he just kind of started speaking to me about like, the ways that you should kind of live as a man, like how you should prioritize, like taking care of a household if that's something that you want to start, and like, the first steps to kind of making that happen. Fiscal responsibility, I feel like that was something else that like I had to, grow within, bro. Because, you graduate college and you feel me, man? You get $20. It's like, man, I'm go to Guthrie's. Like, I can do a little something, like get a box of pizza, and then you graduate, and it's like you start making, a good amount of money, and it's like you realize, bro, it's not about how much you make; it's about how you spend it. You can make $1 million, bro, but if you spending $900K, like you ain't really got much left to your name for real. So
things change, bro. You got car note now. You got
insurance.
You got rent.
Like real responsibilities.
It's not Tallahassee anymore, bro, where you might hit a food spot at 2 a.m. and spend a couple bucks. You know what I'm saying? Like, now lunch costs $30.
Yeah.
$30 is some bread, bro.
Bro,
like,
that is some good bread, bro.
like,
yeah, bro. So
and the reason why I had wanted to touch on that too, because I remember like when I moved to Tampa, bro, right? I had got the job I was looking for.
Yeah.
I got the money I was looking for.
Yeah.
I had my whip.
Yeah.
I could pay for everything. You know what I'm saying? And then it still wasn't enough.
Yeah.
It's like not the money. I'm not saying the money wasn't enough.
Yeah.
It's just like I still felt like I was not on my way yet.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I still felt like I had more to accomplish, bro. I still felt like there were more goals
Yeah.
I needed to find, right? Like I felt like I needed to figure out what my why was. And I needed to not only figure out like what my passion was or what my purpose was, I had to actually develop the mission to my purpose.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And that's
Yeah.
something I'm learning about in church now.
Yeah.
It's just like you can have a purpose, but like what's the mission like?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? What are some of the things you willing to do to get to the purpose?
Facts.
You know what I'm saying? What are some of the things you're trying to do to make sure that that purpose is fulfilled, right?
Yeah.
Like there's literally mission
Mm-hmm.
and then that builds purpose. Like,
Exactly.
you know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? So like
we try to skip over the mission and just go
we
straight
be
to the
skipping
purpose.
over the mission and we be trying to get to the purpose. Like I'm over here trying to be, you know, I'm trying to be this consistent person, right? In all the things that I do in my life. I'm trying to learn how to speak better. I'm trying to learn to lead with faith. I'm trying to learn not even that in relationships too. Like learn how to communicate on a much less aggressive scale.
Yeah.
And I'm just trying to develop all these new skills that I never really had. And because I didn't have those skills, it didn't matter how successful I was post grad. Like I still felt like
something gonna be missing.
I wasn't all the way there.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So like did you when it came to like, you know, getting in touch with your faith, like and you know, figuring out, you know, that relationship is like what you needed, like what were some like of the other things that came with that? Like what were, as soon as you figured out like, oh my God, like I needed, you know, I really needed to be like this faith-based young man, which is a beautiful thing. I think all three of us are like in
very
the space
tuned.
now where like we going to church, we reading the scripture and stuff like that. But like
Yeah.
once you got there, like what were some of the things that really got clear to you?
Yeah. Honestly, bro, like what got clear to me at that time is like caring less about what other people kind of have going on and like really the direct path that you have for yourself and being okay with that. A lot of times like in life, you just see so much other stuff that's kind of happening with people that are on a totally different journey than you. And it's kind of hard to sit up here and say like that can't cloud your judgment on like, am I doing the right thing and stuff like that. So I started like reading and like, I noticed that a lot of the greats, bro, like they weren't on, you know, Instagram and stuff like that. Like CEO of my company, like he don't have Instagram, like he don't have TikTok, like he's not on, you know, Facebook and X and stuff like that, bro. Like this man reading, like this man literally is on his own journey with his life. And I had to realize like I was probably consuming myself within like some of those platforms and stuff like that somewhere. And so when that kind of started happening for me, I joined like this Bible study group that my cousin kind of started, who used to coach us in basketball. And that's been going for probably like the last 3 or 4 years. And I started getting around like-minded men, like young men, like older men, just individuals in general that kind of had like the same strategy and like placement in life that I was kind of having. And so just being able to be in a space where like you branching off ideas and like guys like talking about like, oh, marriage, and like guys talking about, oh, like, you know, building a house, like generational wealth. Guys are talking about starting their own businesses and like, you know, kind of walking out on things that they were doing just because, you know, the cash flow is coming in every 2 weeks and taking a leap on themselves and doing it because not they wanted to do it, but like they felt like God was pushing them to go do those things. And so just having like those kind of like reconciliations like within yourself when you're going through those things and then being able to take that and perform it like within yourself, like it was huge for me, bro. So like that's why I ended up going for the team that I'm on now, like at work. Cause I mean, at that point in time, I was like, I don't even know if I'm cut to be able to do that because you hear the backgrounds and the stories from people that's already doing this, like easy to shut yourself out. But like, it's like, if that's the journey and the path that not only yourself feels like you want to go through, but you pray to God and you feel like he's pushing you towards that as well, then it's like huge. And then, I mean, even on top of that, like moving to Atlanta, like I was in Columbus, Ohio, moved to Atlanta after 2 years and then moved to Tampa again. Like I'm asking God, like, dang, like why you got me all over the world right now? Like I'm just like not able to get settled, like, you know, spending a lot of money to, you know, make these moves and stuff like that. And just kind of like hearing like his purpose behind it, like, you know, trust the process. Maybe some of the stuff that you're doing right now, you're putting too much time, too much equity, too much of yourself into. Maybe you should backtrack those things. So like I backtrack going out a little bit. So it's like, all right, I'm only going to go out once a month, if that, like type thing. Like, let me back out from that. Let me start reading like some different books, self-improvement books, things that can put stuff in my head to make me grow. Let me start giving back more, bro. Like, cause it's like we are in a perfect situation right now in society, man. When you look up, it's like sometimes, bro, you in the top 5%, top 10% of like average black men in America.
Yeah.
It's not worth anything if you're not sharing that knowledge with, other like-minded individuals that you could possibly help get their stuff together. That's why I love y'all platform so much, bro, because it's not talking about like all the stereotypical things that you typically see on podcasts day to day. It's talking about people's inner child. It's talking about how people have grown into the men that they are today. It's talking about how you take that knowledge that you have and you share it back with your community so we can build a black enterprise. Yeah. And so for that, at that moment, it was like, let me make sure I devote more time to my cousin's Bible study and help him out so I can help guys that are in different places with things that they're trying to get through or places that they're trying to go. Basketball is always still going to be a passion. I have a goal to, start maybe helping volunteer coaching somewhere, start training kids. Like that's something I still want to be able to add value with them from like just something outside of just the normal day-to-day 9-to-5 job. So things like that really just started popping up in my head. And it wasn't just like the thought in my head at that point. It was like actually taking action from it and doing things and meeting with people to make that stuff come together.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Tallahassee to Columbus, Columbus to Atlanta, Atlanta to Tampa. Crazy transitions, like that's just up and down, like all the way up and coming back down the East Coast, right?
Yeah.
How has the importance, I mean, you touched on your family, not a big family, but tight-knit, right? Yeah. How has that helped you in your family, helped you with each transition and step of the way, like those relationships, whether it's mom, dad, uncle, significant other, homeboys from school that you were really, close to? How are those relationships still, been impactful to you and useful in the times of, transition and maybe even uncertainty with, where am I going after I finish this program, right? Yeah. Like, how has that been for you?
Man, honestly, bro, that's probably the only thing that's gotten me through a lot of this stuff, bro. A lot of time it wasn't even like a fiscal need, bro. It was just somebody you could bounce ideas off of, talk to, having people like y'all too, like that I could talk to while I'm going through those transitions. Like we took a trip in the midst, like one of those things kind of happening.
Yeah.
And at that point, like I didn't know like where I was gonna be, to be honest. And like just even having that trip, fellowshipping with y'all, like us being able to talk about like the things we're going through in life, it helped, bro. It was a breath of fresh air. Like it helped, bro, because it was just like, dang, like it's not only me that's going through this right now. And of course, like you said, like you always have your pops, like, and your mom. But, like, for some reason, bro, it was hard for me to go back to them and be like, yo, I need help. Like,
man.
Because I always just felt like throughout my life, he wasn't going asking nobody for help that I saw. He might have done it, behind closed doors or whatever, but he always made it happen. He always made sure we were straight and never saw us down, like never saw him down. Like it was like always, I'm gonna figure it out. And it was like at that moment, it's like, bro, I gotta find a way to be like that. Like, and so I'm not gonna go ask for help on purpose, even though I know I can, because I wanna be able to figure this stuff out for me. And like, say I got myself out of this hole for me. Say I was able to move to this place for me. And like extended family, bro. Like moving to Columbus, like that's the most random place ever. Like when I moved there, everybody was like, Columbus? Like Ohio? I'm like, yeah. I'm like, yeah, I mean, we gonna see what it turned out to be, but that is definitely a weird place to move. But then like you get there and you meet people, man. Like I had Kashif there, I had AJ there, man. Like just people that poured into me and was intentional about like our relationship. Yeah. My roommate, one of my best friends from 5th grade, bro, he randomly just was supposed to be moving to Texas. Tehran, he ended up moving to Columbus, Ohio. And it's like, bro, God, he does everything for a reason, bro. So like just having those 3 people there made my transition so much more easy. And then you get your, extended work family. So people from Columbus that's like, I know you're not from Florida. Let me find a way to make this more like home. And you don't take like that for granted. You take heed to it and you go hang out with them because they just want to make sure that you're having a good experience. And people like that, you keep close. So like that helped my transition really well. And then, moving to Atlanta, like I said, like I wasn't expecting to move to Atlanta. That was a place I actually also said I never would say I would live. So
not Atlanta.
But yeah, like it's probably big. Never say never, bro.
Real quick, I remember we had Blake on the show, and then off the air we had asked Blake, damn, bruh, so you be getting it in with twins sometimes? She be like, yeah, you know, I see Izzy every now and then, man. I can tell he ain't fucking with it. So like, was that the truth? Like, how was your time over there?
Bro, it was great, bro. He just says that because, like, you know, like I said, I cut back on certain stuff, bro.
Yeah.
Like, I wasn't going everywhere that, you know, like, he would send me, like, to go, bro. Like, you know, I got ladies, so, like, you know, being more intentional about that. Like, it was just, like, certain stuff that I had to just kind of, like, start doing.
Yeah.
So I just wasn't going to everything, but I'm not gonna lie, like, I do miss Atlanta a little bit.
Yeah.
Like, it was, you know, a smooth place to be. And the culture there was crazy, bro. Like, everybody, same thing, like, took me under my wing, but it was times 10 because, like, Atlanta is like FAMU Part 2, bro. So, like, it was like every weekend, bro, it's literally something to do with somebody I actually know for real. But it's like, I can't go to every single thing, bro. Like, I'm not gonna be able to live like trying to do that. And like,
so unneeded. Bro.
Yeah, bro. Like, and I would hang out with Blake, bro, but he just said that because, like,
Blake.
You know how Blake be, bro. Like,
Blake a Camp Blaker.
Yeah, you know how Blake be, bro. He just be like on my head a little bit about like stuff like that. But bro, I loved Atlanta, bro, and it's not a place that I would say I wouldn't like go back to at all. Like, it was great. It was still like, you know, relatively close to Tallahassee, but I always wanted to just move back to Florida and like live in Florida like on my own. And so like kind of checking that off the bucket list, and like even the team that I'm kind of on in Tampa, bro, like they played a huge reason as to like why I even moved there. Like, I go out there, like they making sure I eat, like they taking me to hockey games and stuff like that, bro. Like taking me around the city to find an apartment that I could live at. Like, bro, everybody not gonna be intentional about somebody like that they don't care about. So just even having that experience and like the growth and how much they're like putting me in like different positions to do things in the future, I took that all into effect. And, you know, I want to be able to leverage that to the best of my abilities. But throughout all of that stuff, bro, it was really not even like a lot of times the internal or the immediate family, bro. A lot of times it was the extended family that was really helping drive that process as to like how I was able to get through a lot of that stuff.
That's real.
Yeah. So one thing about Tampa real quick. I remember at work, this when like Tampa Bay Lightning.
Yeah.
A crazy run.
Yeah.
Talking about they was going finals back to back.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody had on that Tampa Bay Lightning gear. You know what I'm saying? I remember I was at work, and you know, normally in work they got all the charts up. You know what I'm saying? They got all the data up, all the admin stuff up. And then, you know, I walked into the room. I walked into like, you know, the central floor room, and it's about 8 TVs in there. 4 of the TVs was just for the game.
Dang.
Yeah, like it's almost kind of like nobody wanted to work. They just wanted to watch hockey. You know what I'm saying?
That's wild.
But yeah, you know, we talked about this earlier. You know, I used to live in Tampa for a little bit.
Yeah.
I was staying in the Brandon area. It was pretty cool.
Yeah.
At the time in Tampa, I was just really like silent.
Yeah.
I was like, you know, a very calm version of myself. I think moving to Tampa is what kind of got me out of wanting to go to the club all the damn time.
Yeah.
I mean, I just ain't really had nobody to go to the club to.
Facts.
Plus, my work schedule was kind of weird, so I wasn't really going out in Tampa like that.
It's a tough place to kind of go out for.
Yeah,
to be honest, bro.
It is. But you know, obviously, you there now, right?
Yeah.
You know, a few months back, you had, you know, mentioned what you wanted your move to Tampa to look like.
Yeah.
And how intentional, like, you wanted to make that phase of your life now.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? You mentioned things like work. You talked about that a little bit. You know, obviously your relationship with God. But then you also talked about, like, you know, some of the intentions you had with kind of like being a lot more grounded with, you know, your relationship at home with your lady. You know what I'm saying? Why did you feel like at this stage in your life, because we are still young, right?
Yeah.
Right? And I'm not taking nothing away from nobody.
That is real though.
You know what I'm saying? But like at this stage in your life, what made you say, okay, like these are the things that I want to focus on right now?
Honestly, bro, I think it was a little bit of, you know, a self-check, you know, in a sense. Like, you know, if you don't do right by people, they'll show you like they don't need you. Right. And it was also a little bit of a just like, I don't know, I feel like I just kind of wanted to make a change, bro. Like, you do right by good people, and like, she good people.
Yeah.
So hearing her goals, her aspirations, and things that she kind of wanted to make happen, I was in Florida. Like, family, job, all types of stuff, businesses that she wanted to start. I felt like that opportunity for her was a little bit, bigger in Florida, and she mentioned how she would want to be closer. So when I had this opportunity to move to Tampa and, make things happen and provide for her, I wanted to give her that opportunity to come with me. It wasn't something that was a dictatorship by any chance because, like you said, we young, bro. We still in our grinding phase in life. She's in grad school right now. And so I straight up kind of told her, like, hey, if you think I'm derailing you from your career, any progressions, things that you're trying to do in life, like, don't feel like the need to come with me. But she was on some like, nah, bro, like, we locked in. So I'm like,
I know you got a good
I'm like, well, you feel me? Like, if this is what we're gonna do, we gonna do it. And so I just wanted to make sure that I was able to, provide and take care and just do certain things, bro. You put in time with somebody, man, at some point, like,
yeah,
it gotta stop, bro. Like you gotta show some type of intentionality towards something that is more permanent. And so I feel like that was a good step in that direction. Excited for what the future will hold, but that was a big part in also why I moved there, so she could be closer to her family. And same thing for me. So I mean, it's an adjustment for sure, but like nothing in life gonna be easy. I think it was a good decision though.
Yeah. I mean, outside played out. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's not fun, bro. Like, you know what I'm saying? And I'm not trying to sit here and give the table legs. You know, that's not my forte, but outside just ain't it, man.
Yeah.
It's better to either build on your own or build with somebody that trust.
Facts.
In your plan and has a plan too to kind of like, not only support you but also be like a force with you too. You know
Facts.
what I'm saying? So, yeah, man.
She hold me accountable, bro. It's hard to find a woman that truly cares and gonna hold you accountable, call you out when you tripping, but then at the same time be your biggest cheerleader when good things are going. So I always respected that about her, and so yeah, man. I mean, we've been rocking out. Gonna see, you feel me?
Yeah, show that, man.
Good things in store.
Yeah, I'm good, man. I'm just I've been kind of quiet this episode.
Yeah, why you ain't talking to me?
Nah, I mean, man, I've been quiet, man.
You don't have no questions for me, JB, bro? This man tired, had a long day.
No, I'm not tired. Listen, like on some real, like these two guys, man, they're not. I'll say OGs, but like although y'all are only a couple years older than me, I really take heed to a lot of stuff that both of y'all say.
Yeah.
So like, just hearing y'all go back and forth in y'all's exchanges, like y'all's perspectives, y'all's outlook on life, like although like this is my platform or our platform, like I'm really just soaking all this in the moment, right?
Yeah.
From experiences of growth personally for me, when I had my time, like a year and almost 2 years ago now, where I was like in the middle of a job transition, like I was talking to OD like every day, bro.
Right.
Like I was talking to you, at least a couple times a week, and we would share like sermon notes, and we would do this and that. And like I don't even know, like I talked about this before with OD, but like me just being on the phone with OD was like a almost therapeutic, because he would just be telling me his issues, well, not his issues, but how he's dealt with problems in the past before, and that was helping me out. So like it just kind of a big daytime moment, I'm not gonna lie, in real time. Like, cause even when we were back in school, you know what I'm saying? Again, like I'm the youngest of like our fraternity brothers.
Yeah.
So obviously, I feel like I'm a very knowledgeable individual, but being around y'all, I really learned sometimes, like when people who have experienced different things than you, and experienced a little bit more life, sometimes you kind of just gotta shut the fuck up and listen. You know what I mean? And in this moment right now, that's just kind of me, just taking in what y'all are saying from, your different places that you moved to, because I haven't experienced that. Same thing with you, going from Tampa, coming up to New York. Like I just haven't experienced some things. So in the moment, man, I'm just really taking it in and just appreciative of the conversation. even with, your lady, man, like just seeing how you operate, like, shit, that's something I'm trying to do at some point, God willing. But, that's just why I've been a little quiet.
Yeah, no, like we all trying to get to that space, where we just find like really common ground and feel a, space of home, bro.
Yeah.
Because the older you get, man, and it's not just about relationships. The older you get, just you really start realizing like distractions
Bro.
are annoying.
It's not that much time in the day, bro.
And you don't even put up with it, bro. Like,
Yeah,
you
bro.
know, like Izzy don't go out no more. I don't go out as much as I used to. I'm a once a month kind of guy.
Yeah,
Sometimes
yeah.
I'm a once a month and a half
Yeah.
kind of dude. Like, you know what I'm saying? Because I just
But that also comes in when you're locked in. Like right now, like we all in the gym, right?
Yeah.
And I go every morning. I'm out the house at 5:30. I'm in the gym. You know,
You do look
by 6.
slim, bro.
yeah.
Thanks, man.
You do look
But
slim,
all
bro.
y'all boys, you know,
I know ODski be in the gym,
Nah,
so
he
you know I'm
be-
gonna give your
thrashing.
kudos. I be
Wait,
seeing it,
yeah.
you know. But this dude done lost some weight, man.
But
It's crazy.
yeah, no, for sure. But when you're that locked in
Facts.
and you have a constant routine of this is what I'm going, and these are non-negotiables, everything is just kind of like in a box, and you're tunnel vision in on that. And I think that's kind of one of the most important things that I've like picked up on, you know, not just over the last like year or so, but you know, just over time. When you're tunnel vision, you're locked in, you don't even need to go out. Like that's not even urged. Like you're so focused on hitting that goal of, bro, I'm trying to make sure I get down to this weight this week. Forget that drink. Forget that. I'm getting a lemon lime soda. You know,
Facts,
if anything,
facts.
right? Like I don't need the extra meal. Like I'm good. When you're so locked in, it's just you versus you, and that's sometimes kind of all you need to stay on focus. And you kind of tune and block everything out to where, like you said, everything else might just become a distraction to like what your goals are and what you got going. So
yeah.
I mean, I seen something that said basically like I probably would botch it up, but it's like a certain amount of hours that you have to put into something before you like master it, bro. And I feel like that's the phase of life that I'm in right now, bro. Like just like y'all boys, like in the gym, like I get up every morning 5:30. I go to the gym. I'm training for a half marathon right now. Like
Yeah, talk about that experience, man.
yeah, bro. Honestly,
you in the gym.
yeah.
You in the gym,
I'm
bro.
in the gym a little bit, man. I'm trying to do a little something. Honestly, bro. My come to Jesus moment with that, bro. So in college, bro. Funny story. We at one of my homeboys, Marvin. Shout out to 626, by the way, man. Like they're my guys for real,
shout out
bro.
626.
Got some cool dudes, bro.
Shout out
What's up,
626, man. They some good guys, man. Those my brothers. But we at Marvin's like basically godbrother's crib, and he's having like a little cookout. You know, we out there eating, drinking, typical college things, like, and it gets to a point where, you know, the men having a little debacle, like we having a little conversation about different stuff, and one dude like, I'm faster than you, the next dude like, nah, da. He like, bro, right now, like, you not even 215 pounds, like, type thing to the dude. We like, huh? Like, buddy like, nah, like, I'm like 205, 210. Dude go pull out the scale. Mind you, it's women in there, like,
my God.
like, bro, like, this on some, like, and now, like, they done got into it, and
Yeah.
the scale done came out, and you know, my boy stepped on the scale and it went up a little high. You feel me? So it went up a little high, and it was right before, like, we just graduated, bro. I'm getting ready to move to Columbus, bro. You know, I get on the scale, I'm like, golly, bro, like, you know, I didn't know I weighed this much, like, type thing. But, you know, you look back, and I would work out. We hooped, played flag football and stuff like that, but ate terrible. And, like, that's, you know, diet is half the battle when you working out. You could do as much as you want, bro, but, like,
85%.
if you not, yeah, bro, it's literally like 85, 90% of, like, whatever you're doing. If you're not eating right, bro, like, you're not going to get the results.
Yeah.
And so at that moment, buddy told me, like, I wouldn't be able to hit 225 by the next homecoming. And I ain't gonna lie, like, I went to Columbus, bro, and, like, that week, I think I have it marked, bro. It was like June, like 26th. That week of 2021, I started going to the gym, and I've like been every like at least 5 to 6 days out of the week, like every day, every week since, bro. Like just start trimming up, eating different, bro. Like feed my mind with like different things. And I seen this man running crazy amounts of miles last year.
New York Marathon.
This man did the marathon last year. I'm like, that's crazy. Cause in my head, I'm like, bro, I'm a 3 to 4 mile guy max. If I do that at this time in my head, I'm like, bro, like, why you do that? But I also feel like I'm in the phase of my life right now where like I have a lot of good stuff going, but like I gotta find ways to like challenge myself outside of work. And so seeing him do that, like half of it probably wasn't even because like he thought it was crazy. I think probably 75% of that was because like I just want to prove to myself that I could do it. And so I'm in that same phase where it's like, my girl, like, why you want to do a half marathon? My boy's like, bro, like, what are you doing? Like, well, like, what's the point? But it's like, that's just gonna be a personal accolade for myself to say like I ran a half marathon. And I ain't trying to run it in, you know, a 6-minute pace or 7-minute pace like my crazy line brother, Zach Bruno.
No, he's
because he also
Zach just ran like a 50K?
bro,
well, no,
this man just ran
he's
like
training for the LA marathon, and bro, he ran the whole 21.6
In 7 minutes.
7-minute miles,
7-minute
bro.
pace,
In
bro.
like, what is that?
No,
Oh yeah, see, he's trying to
insane.
go to the Olympics, LA 2028. I'm telling you.
This
He's
man
trying to
said
get on the team, bro.
This man said he had 4 bleeding toes.
Bro,
No,
yeah, like
he's
it's
crazy.
not that deep at that point. For me, I respect that brother though, because he motivate me. And he done put me on some like, you know, good tactics I could use to get my time down a little bit. But I honestly just want to do it without stopping, just to say like I ran a half marathon, because it's just like a
You
goal.
can do it. You can
Yeah.
definitely do it.
And since I done did 10, like they like, bro, once you do 10, like you straight. So like
What, 10K?
I did 10 miles.
Oh, 10 miles? Okay.
2 weeks ago. So like it's only 13.1 for a half. So like everybody's like, once you do 10, like you solid. And I done that a couple times. So now, you know, I'm just getting ready to, you know, work to do it in like April. I'm gonna do it in probably St. Pete. And it's gonna be a good vibe, bro. Like I'm excited. It's something challenging. I'm getting like them same jitters you get like when I'm going to like a basketball tournament when I was in like middle school or like high school. Cause it's just like I'm about to like compete. It's like other people out there. It's not like you competing, but like it's a whole thing, bro. You go out there, you race, like they give you like a completion kind of ribbon and stuff like that. It's like,
Medal.
bro, like I literally did that. You feel me? So
I
like
might have to get on that.
No, we can.
That's
do
what
it,
I'm
bro.
saying, bro. Like,
we
it's
should do
solid,
one
bro.
Before, I don't know if there's any runs before Brazil. We should look into it. Even if it's not like a half marathon, just a
5K,
5K. Like, bro,
7K.
it's a good. It's all mental, man. And
Yeah.
I think we're all at the phase where, like we all mentioned, like going out,
I could
a little
do
bit.
5, 10K easy.
Of course.
Right now.
Right now.
I could do
Yes,
it right
of
now.
course.
Literally.
Bet.
Literally, bro.
But
But-
like a 20, 30,
Yeah,
Take a little work.
it's a little.
It is a little work. But
5'7" smooth.
we're all in that phase where, you know, different things like this of a
Yeah.
challenge, that is fun. Like I remember you went to the Gymshark activation, right?
That was fire,
You know what
bro.
I'm saying? Like stuff like that is like stuff I'm more into now. You feel me?
Yeah.
Just health,
Experiences,
wellness,
bro.
experiences, mentally challenging. So yeah, no, it's all good. And to your point about the marathon, I mean, I did that like when I first got up here, and honestly, like the most miles I ran was 16, and that wasn't like straight. That was starting, stopping, to be honest.
Facts.
And doing that, that's completely mental because
Yeah.
I didn't know nobody out there. I had nobody like to hug after I was done. Like I literally could barely walk.
Bro,
Um,
the hamstrings.
I had a
tight.
I had bro.
Tight.
Right here, this shit,
Bro.
right here, over.
Bro, I'm talking about the bottom of my
Ankles.
feet. Bro, it was so bad. I had Mai order me a pizza because I was starving.
Yeah.
Like when I got back to the crib, I took a shower on everything, bro. I couldn't walk to the door. I had to crawl to the door.
Bro, like for real,
I
like
had
the
to
first
crawl to
time
the
I
door,
ran
bro.
that many, like first time I ran like 7 miles, bro. Like I literally did it on a treadmill like an idiot. And
Oh my
I
God.
got off the tread
Man.
and I fell, bro.
Your
Like
joints.
I literally couldn't
treadmill.
walk, bro. Like that was so dumb in the moment, but I was just going. So I was like, oh, let me see how long I can go. I'll never do it again. But bro, you'll be surprised. Like your legs really give out on you for real. Like, you know, we watch track and stuff and you like, bro, why they falling like type stuff? Or like, why they legs giving out? But like, bro,
Cramp up, twin.
you really, like they'll really give out on you, bro. So it's like just the training. That's why I do strength training during the week. I run every day, like 1.25, and I do my long runs on the weekend. So it's been a really good journey, bro, honestly. Hopefully I get Shorty to start running a little bit too. She peeping what I'm doing, so it's like she trying to get into it a little bit too. But it's cool, bro. I just like it. It clears my mind, bro, and like keeps me at peace. Outside of hooping.
We slick my BT minus 5:10, just looking at the time.
I'm about to start running tomorrow. Fuck it.
Bro, lock in, bro.
Yeah, I'm gonna start running tomorrow, man.
Yeah.
You know, so you on the other half of your 20s now.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? What do you think happiness look like to you right now?
Say it again.
What do you think happiness looks like to you right now?
Honestly, bro, you know, happiness right now for me looks like good job, making solid bread, getting a investment property, like working on like something like that, would be very satisfying. Just to have like a little project outside of the normal 9 to 5. And then of course, like, I'm not gonna say like in the next month or two, but like, you know, getting married and stuff like that, and like, you know, eventually like starting my own like, you know, family, and really like getting back into like the community. with basketball, bro. Like if I could be helping with like basketball right now with some team, whether that's assistant coaching or training, I could be working my job and, you know, killing it on the day-to-day, which those two is kind of hard to put together because it's going to probably have to be one or the other at some point. And I got a solid wife and kids at the crib, bro. Like I'm living a fulfilled life, bro. Like, cause like, you know, I got a good thing going at the crib and I can go back and give my all to them and make sure I provide. I get a sense of thrill out of like making other people happy. Like, and that's kind of hard to hear coming from an only child, but that's my inner child.
Yeah.
So like, you know, just being able to do stuff like that is really cool. And like, if I had the opportunity to do that, bro, like that would be a very happy place that I could be in my life, along with just still interacting and traveling with friends, family, and just, you know, living a flexible life.
That last statement you made was kind of a perfect segue into my next question. Is you have this natural aura about you, right? Where I've just seen it firsthand, where people just kind of naturally gravitate towards you.
Yeah.
Like, where do you think that comes from? Like, because it doesn't matter like what setting you're in. It just always seems like people just couldn't know you, knew you forever, just met you. They always kind of just flock towards Izzy.
I never really could like understand why that was happening, bro. My cousin asked me that like 2 weeks ago, bro. He was like, bro, you know, you like probably got a lot of people that think that they like are very, very cool with you and like you barely like really know them for real. And he was like, why is that? And I'm like, bro, honestly, I really don't know. I've always just been a nice guy though. And I think like that's always just kind of played to my strengths growing up. Like no matter what, you know, background, ethnicity, anything that you kind of came from growing up, I found ways to resonate with like what you had going on in your life. And it'll be in different ways. Like I got a really good friend that's like an Asian, but we talk about like religion stuff sometimes. We talk about
That's like a what?
Like we talk about like religion.
But you said they're agent?
Asian.
Oh, Asian, sorry.
Yeah, like I got a friend, like a couple friends that like are Asians, and we talk about religion sometimes. Like we talk about working out. We talk about like the diversity within the Asian community.
Yeah.
And like how that resonates to like diversity within like the like Black community and like just different things that they go through over there. I would have no clue that they're dealing with. So like, I don't know, I just always feel like I found a way to resonate with people in a very genuine way without like looking for something to come out of the situation.
For sure.
And like I said, like reliability, that's something like my pops, I feel like he's always carried within himself. And like, I like to be reliable for people. Like if somebody asks me to do something, I want to find, if I can't do it, I want to find a person that can do it for you. And I honestly feel like that's just played to my strengths kind of growing up in life and like why I have so many friends. And like, I just always was around cool guys. So cool guys attract like other cool guys. And then like, you know, if you with like-minded individuals, it's gonna happen. Same thing with like Blake and like how I got cool with White. Like that was so random, but I saw that on y'all episode and it was just like, bro, like Blake and White are like, and me and Blake are really cool. So like, I would find it very hard for me and White not to get along. You feel me? Same thing with like Malik and like DMD and then like Chris and your boys like that. Like, bro, like I'ma naturally just get along. You feel me? Like I'ma just naturally get along with people. You feel me, bro? So it's just like, I don't know. I just feel like that's a underrated skill set that I probably like just always had my whole life, but probably should leverage it a little more.
Yeah. Yeah, man. So, you know, we wrapping up. Last question we want to ask you, same question we always ask all our guests, man. What advice would you give to anybody that is trying to tap in to their inner child?
Man, honestly, bro, I would say anybody that's trying to tap into their inner child, I would say to self-reflect on the roots that was instilled into them to get them to where they are now. Okay. If you don't self-reflect or look back at the reasons why you were able to get to the place that you are now, it's kind of like you driving down a dark road with no lights. And I also would say tap in with God, bro. Like God got a special story for a lot of different people out here in this world, and it's very unique to the certain individual that's trying to seek out that journey that he has for you. And so tapping in with God too will reflect the light to show you the path that you should be walking down.
It's love. That's love, man.
That's a gem.
That's love.
That's a bar.
That's love. Real quick before we end the wrap of this show, I should have said this shit at the start.
Shout out COVID-20, man.
Yeah.
Shout out my brothers, man.
Man, see, that was a perfect segue because I remember my first time ever meeting Izzy. I don't know if you ever remember. So I was with Phil.
Yeah.
And at the time, you know, we was IGN.
Yeah.
You know, I didn't know all the other, you know, I knew some,
Yeah.
but I didn't know, you know, most.
Yeah.
You know, Izzy was one of the ones that, you know, he was doing it for a while. And then, you know, Izzy walked up the field. He just like, what's up, bruh? And that's when Phil said, oh, okay, cool. What's good? And then, you know, that's when Phil looked at me. Phil said, you know him? I was like, nah. And Phil said, bro, he gonna be your brother. And I was like, oh, okay. Okay. You feel me? I was like, what's up? And then, you know, we exchanged names and shit like that, and it was cool. And
OD sized me, bro. OD sized me, bro. When I did that, OD was like, bro, who is he, bro? Like,
and, you know, because I wasn't paying attention.
Nah, fast.
So then, you know, when Phil said, bro, you don't know him? I'm just like, nah, like.
Should I?
Yeah. I was like, no. But that's why, like, I had kind of, like, got a little. Because he was like, did you know him? I was like, no. He was like, he's supposed to be your brother. So after I heard that, I was like, oh, okay, cool. So I'll speak to him later down the line.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And then Phil was just like, all right, bro, get out here, Jit.
Damn, I do remember that, bro.
All right, bro, make it Jit.
Yeah, he
like,
did.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, bro. They used to love bro you crazy. And it's crazy how that turns out. And we didn't even speak that day, and now we speak every day.
That's what I'm saying.
And you my front. Of all, like,
for sure.
Of all places you could be in line, you my front, bro.
Yeah, man.
So I was like, that's crazy.
And I had to hold your ass down, too.
You did. You held me down, brother. That's why I say I always give utmost respect.
Seeing Izzy go to Israel real
Bro, that's why you got brothers, man.
Yeah.
You ain't built for every situation, but
Yeah,
sometimes you got people around you that can help you get through them.
That's love.
That's the part of family, bro.
Yeah, man.
That's real.
We for sure love you, man. Appreciate you coming on the show,
Facts.
bro.
Love y'all boys
You
times 10, man.
Yeah, man.
Always, bro.
You working, man. Came here, you know, just to work. You feel me? So we really appreciate the time. You just
You know I was gonna hang out with
you
y'all
know, chop
boys.
it up with us, man. Have a good conversation in the work clothes, man.
Facts.
You know what I'm saying?
By all means, bro.
You too, work clothes, nigga.
Hey man, gotta get it in, man.
By all means.
By all means. But hey man, be sure to check us out. Like, subscribe at the official InnerChild on Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, for more content. As always, never forget to embrace your inner child. I'm JB. That's OD. Till next time. Peace.
Peace out, man.